Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our scenario is entitled Homecoming. It was written by Thomas McKeon, who is also our game master. Our recap will be given by Ken Trinch, and this is episode 8. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Ken?
The Diary of William Olmsted Green. I'm thinking of writing a detective novel based on our adventures so far. Getting Things Done by William Olmsted Green, Part 1. It was a beautiful spring morning on Wednesday the 8th of April 1931. Clifton Hawke, private detective, is chasing up a clue. A cheque to a W. Darby for $300. That's a lot of money. But still no news from the bank. Hawke leaves frustrated. Clifton Hawke is no ordinary detective, for he has had experience of the extraordinary, psychic experiences and omen-filled dreams. Hawke's next point of contact, Marcus Finlay, the greasy, perhaps shady detective. Hawke buys some pastries as a kind of incentive that detectives like. And then it happens. Way off in the distance, in the middle of the street, a person standing, looking, it seems, some stupid fool in the road. Hawke turns north, the same thing in that direction too. He rubs his eyes, squinting to look. I haven't got time for this, he thinks, and heads to the Tucker house to see Finlay. Hawke. Finlay, do you have the report on Arthur Tucker's suicide murder? Finlay hands a report over by Detective Bryant. There's no autopsy report yet. Suicide speculated. No sign of an assailant. No forced entry. Mentally shaken, that was all. Hawke leaves the Tucker home. The apparition or illusion still stands in the distance. Part 2. The Municipal Building, Manhattan, NY. The police are in riot gear, protesters around, goading and provoking them. Banners say, "Down with Walker," the corrupt mayor of the city. Enter Felix Epstein, the great Bamboni, master magician and colleague sleuth of Clifton Hawke. Then Dexter Fowler, the radio detective, ready to record his latest tales in this investigation. But as they enter the building, they have become citizens, not detectives, to gain entry. Inside the hushed, tense building, approached by an aide and security, Epstein states they are going to the city planner's office on Open Meeting Act business. It's like abracadabra, or open sesame. The aide who quizzed Epstein stands and watches them as the men head upstairs in stunned silence. The 23rd floor. The planner's office. They arrive there at Timothy Tucker's office, now with his name removed from the list on the doors. Then inside, William Converse, department administrator, Harrison Geils, zoning manager, Orville Kelvin, assistant to the committee, and Alastor with no name, obviously Tucker's former office. Fowler. Converse and Geils are the ones we need to talk to. Inside Converse office or outside Converse office, they hear voices. "Henry, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore." Another voice. "Don't you think I know that, Harry? He won't let you out of this. I'm leaving, I'm done. It is missing, Bill. And Timothy's gone. Don't pretend you don't know who did it." The door suddenly opens to Epstein and Fowler standing there like masters of distraction. They fast talk Converse into some wacky story about golf ranges on the top of buildings and fake meetings with Timothy Tucker. Then Converse leaves the office for a few minutes, and the two undercover detectives immediately start rooting around the office, desk and bin like cats after mice. A letter from Geils about rezoning district 144 to cover everything from West 150. It's urgent for benefactors and money. I have a feeling the jig is up anyway, it says in the letter. Fowler finds a leather-bound ledger exactly like the one at the Tucker home. He carefully rips out 2 pages and luckily just before Converse returns back. Felix levels with Converse, the master of surprise. "What happened to Timothy Tucker?" he says. Felix spends a week's worth of luck to try to intimidate Converse. Converse, I don't know, please leave before I call security. He's obviously shaken. They leave, but not empty-handed. Part 3, enter Timothy Anderson, Tommy Anderson, and William Olmsted Green. Amateur detectives, university, friends, and best buddies are working on the case. They visit first of all they visit Timothy Tucker's doctor, and they discover his immune system had been badly compromised. He was regularly sick with digestive issues all of his life. Next stop, the witch house across the street. Timothy and William go to the old woman's house across the street, the nosy neighbour, the bitter woman, the peaking palooka, the font of all knowledge, Dorothy Campbell. Her beady little eyes peer out of the door. I'm not talking. The old bag stands behind the door while young William tries his best to charm her from beyond. You know what's going on. The neighbourhood has gone downhill. There are even Baptists in the street, she tells us. It's shocking news. Dorothy Campbell, the keeper of secrets, monitored all the activity on the street. Timothy left 7 a.m. every morning, 7 p.m. back every work evening. But 2 months ago, he started arriving home late, even at midnight, she tells us. The last day, on that fateful day when he left in the morning, he headed north instead of south on the road, and he seemed nervous, she told us. Then at 1 p.m, a woman came to the door, dressed in a turquoise dress, perhaps a shawl over her head, was going to post a letter but changed her mind and then turns away. Then after that, our nosy neighbour gets a knock on the door, and the man from the paper, she tells us, is asking about the woman who came to the door. It turns out it's Silver Star Enterprises' George Fulton. He did the sewer works for free, the newspaper says. What is his connection to this mysterious woman? Perhaps Tally, coming to visit Timothy, the woman who sent the mysterious gifts? Anyway, then Harry, an investigator it seems, was hanging around the abandoned house just down the street. He'd also talking to the old woman. The team was left with 2 solid leads, the bank and the city halls. It was a choice. Greta Sutton, the reporter, could still be a valuable source to the team. So Felix Epstein disappears and meets Greta, and more questions. Who's funneling the money? Greta dug around the basement, she tells him, in City Hall, the mail room, an incoherent note with letters, a coded message perhaps. It's time to smoke out the rats in City Hall. To be continued.
A wonderful, wonderful recap. So, before we begin, I just want to let everybody know that the note that Greta found last episode, that she passed on to Felix, she never gave a specific day when she grabbed it. She just said, I found it. It should be noted that she didn't grab it yesterday. She probably grabbed it a while ago. But with that out of the way, that little correction from last episode, we're going to say that you're all together. You are all back in the Hillcrest Hotel suite. It's around 6:30. All of this information from all of these different sides have come together. So you're sitting there with the note on the table. What would you like to do?
And it's April 8th. Yes.
It is the night of April 8th, about 7:30.
Well, so this is some sort of a message she intercepted in the, where you said, the mailroom? I don't know, looks like a secret code. What do you make of it, Fowler?
Well, I look over it. and I basically say, it looks like 9. It looks like it says East 12th Street, 9 tonight.
Wow,
Yes.
you solved that quick.
Yes. For the listeners listening, I gave the cipher last episode, and some of our players have taken it upon themselves to solve it, which is good, and they've solved it in the interim with the clues provided. So, Tom, if you could please read the full deciphered message to the audience.
It says, don't see East 12th Street 9 tonight, come alone. And it's a rail code. It's a rail fence code. Hard to decipher.
Yes. And for those who don't know, rail ciphers are important. They're significant in the 1930s. It is the most commonly used cipher by the New York Police Department in the 1930s. So, I would now, with that being said out loud, I would like Fowler and actually Felix. Did you live in New York?
Yes. I was born in New York. Can't you tell from my accent?
How were you a magician in New York?
Well, I was a young child to start with. I became a magician later.
So
originally, I was a baby. Then I pursued a career as a schoolboy.
Okay, that didn't work out.
Before finally settling on magic.
And
But
then
you
a
were
big giant hairy man named Hagrid came and took you away to magic school.
That's right.
But
yeah.
you were a magician.
Benny Hagrid. Yeah, took me away to magic school in Jersey.
But you were a magician
Big Benny
here
Hagrid.
in New York. You got your start here, correct?
Yes.
Then yeah, I need let's see. I need Fowler and Epstein to give me intelligence rolls.
37 out of 70. It's not quite a hard.
I got a 67, and I fail my intelligence.
That is okay, because we have Mick's intelligence roll. Mick, you actually know what the Don't See Me in the code is. It's a restaurant on 12th Street called the Don't See Me. It's a restaurant that caters to show people, specifically magicians. They also open at around 8:30 when most of the afternoon and early early evening shows are just finishing up.
Well, I'll fill the others in on this. Look, this Don't See Me. That's a restaurant. That's a trade, a restaurant for magicians.
Well, I have not been there, so that's...
I know it well.
Hang on. Magicians have their own restaurants?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Just
We've got our own restaurants. We've got our own laundry companies. We've got our own bus service.
That's what I said.
We used to have our own phone company, but that went bust about 3 years ago.
just kind of vanished.
Yep.
They order doves and it turns into chicken.
And they all look different on the outside. Like, for instance, the restaurant actually looks like a Chinese laundry. And the laundry looks like a restaurant.
Well, you have to. You can only get in there if you have to open the secret door.
Yes, it is a very, I mean, it's not like when you go inside, it's like, oh, all these, flashing lights. But it caters mainly to magicians, but it also caters to like actors, just showmen in general. It's like a lawyer's bar, except
It's a performer's bar.
Yeah, it's a performer's bar. So you know that it opens at around 8:30 every single night when the evening shows are kind of letting out. And
But
it's
there's no way for us to know who is sending the message or where it's going to.
Well, I would say that it's the clientele is mostly trade. So if you look for the person in there who looks like they're out of place, looks like Joe Schmo, Joe Public, John Q Public, that's the one.
I actually took it the other way around. I was thinking there would be some sort of show person in the municipal building.
Right, that would make more sense. Otherwise, how would we find them? This message is from a few days ago. So whatever was happening at 9 tonight already happened. And or the person never got their message.
Yeah, that's true too, because we got it. Unless it was a copy, but that doesn't make sense.
Yes.
So could there be like an amateur magician that works at the municipal building? Is there any way for you to find that out, Felix?
Well, I mean, amateur magicians don't join the clubs. They're only open to professional magicians. So, I mean, amateur magicians are 10 a penny. It's a very popular hobby,
Question for the GM.
Yes, sir.
In what form is this found? I mean, if Greta was in the mailroom, you said, how did she find this message?
Well, I was going to the city planner's office. So she was just probably digging around in the city planner's mail because it's just in a bin and looking for something out of place. And
was it on an envelope or in an envelope?
It was in an envelope, but it was an unmarked envelope that was just going right on up. So it was someone knew that they were going to get it and someone was going to get it.
So somebody in the planner's office.
Do you remember it was suggested that Timothy could be the mole? So could it be a message to Timothy to pass on some information? Because he's the one that's magically disappeared.
Well, that is actually a good idea there, William.
Well, and he has a strange Arabic book that might have magic in it in his study. Different kind of magic.
Yeah. But maybe Timothy decided to, drop it in there. Hopefully someone will pick it up and kind of figure out the clue.
Felix, do you have a membership for that club? Can you get in?
Don't see. It's not a club. It's just a restaurant. I mean, it's open to the public as well. It's just that it's popular with.
It's popular with magicians.
No. We have our places.
We've got a photograph of Timothy, right? So there's one way of maybe identifying if he maybe met somebody there on a regular basis.
That's possible. Now, can we say by this time, Thomas, we've all looked at pictures of Timothy to the point where we would now be able to recognize him if we saw him walking down the street?
Yeah, you've been at this for 4 days, nearly 5. So yeah, you've got a pretty clear
picture around. So
yeah, you got a pretty clear understanding of what he looks like. You can probably describe him without a picture, pretty detailed too.
Yeah, I mean that's the lead. That's definitely, we could see if anybody saw Timothy there.
So what would you like to do now?
I don't know. I'm wondering what Tommy's thinking because he's stroking his beard. That usually means he's thinking.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm doing, but I'm not coming up with anything.
Well, it's the evening. We could go there for dinner. They bring out empty plates, and then suddenly the food appears.
William would love to see a magic show. Why don't we do that tonight?
Do they do magic
Yeah.
shows there?
Probably
Do they
not.
perform?
I'm sure if you asked Felix, or I don't know how magicians think, but I'm sure like any trade, if you were to walk in and go, do this for me on your off hour, they'd be like, who the fuck are you?
Oh, I don't know.
That's pretty much the attitude I was going to manifest if anyone asked me to do any magic tricks right now.
On the outside, I have a few friends who are magicians, and every time we go out, they end up walking around everywhere doing tricks for people at their tables.
Oh my gosh.
They can't help themselves.
Yeah. It would take you guys about it's rush hour in New York. So like everyone's trying to get home. So it would take you guys probably about an hour, even if you're walking, to get down to 12th Street, because you guys are in the upper portion of Manhattan. 12th Street's down lower.
It's the kind of place you need a reservation, Mick.
No.
No.
Yeah,
Would anybody like to play some golf off the top of a roof somehow?
What a
I still
great
think
idea.
that's a brilliant business plan.
It is
I
actually.
think that could be a goer. I mean, Magic's not paying as much as it used to. If I could just get enough backing for it. I mean, you've got money, Fowler.
Yes, I do.
You could invest in something like that. I mean, no one uses the rooftops.
Yeah.
All you've got to do is raise up a platform just above the level of the ventilator shafts and everything, so it's all flat, and then put netting around the edges. Golf driving ranges stops people having to drive out of the city to practice their golf.
Yeah.
What are our goals here? Our goals are to find Timothy. Is that correct? That's our primary mission. Find Timothy.
Find Timothy is the primary mission.
Find out what happened to him.
Find out what happened to him and find out where he is and bring him home.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a lead we can follow. See if there's anything. Who knows? Right now, I don't think we have many other leads except.
Well, Fowler, you pulled
W.
that
Darby.
page out of the
Yes,
ledger
I
in the
did.
office.
What exactly?
Let's have a look at that.
Yeah. What exactly is it like?
You guys saw the one you found at Timothy's house. So just pulling this out, it looks similar. The difference is that this ledger is saying that they're donations and that they're being put forth as donations. In the other ledger, it showed the donations coming in and then the divvying up of the donations and the spreading it out amongst everybody, or at least most people.
In other words, they have two books. They have double books. One is right, and one is to show the lawyers, and the other one is to keep track of. You tore a page out of their ledger. They're going to miss that.
2 pages. Could that not be great evidence? The 2 pages to compare against the other ledger, especially if the pages are numbered, and there's your evidence for the Seabury Commission. Fake ledger.
The ledger we have is evidence. I mean, like I say, I'm in favor of just turning it over to Hofstadter or to Roosevelt.
Turn it over. I think you're right that we should go right to the top with it. The further down the food chain you go, the more chance there is that someone's been bought out.
And the other thing we can check out, if you don't mind me saying, because I'm writing a story about our adventures, is Silver Star Enterprises. This George Fulton, the old witch across the road, recognised. He was asking about the woman that was visiting Timothy's house, who nearly posted a letter but didn't. Why would that man be asking about a visitor to Timothy?
What?
I imagine Timothy going missing is suspicious to the bad guys.
Yeah.
That's also why I don't think that he's dead, because if he was dead, they would know that. They wouldn't be looking for him.
All right. Well,
Mick, you're muted.
No, I'm not. Sorry, my voice just became so deep then that it went off the human hearing scale. I said maybe they're not looking for him. Maybe they're just looking for the ledger. Maybe he's just a means to an end just to get the ledger.
I would have thought the first place they'd ransack would be his house, though.
Yeah, I would have found that safe.
Outside the game for just a moment, there was an update to Zoom over the weekend. You can now use your space bar to mute and unmute.
Oh.
Makes it easier.
Well, it is...
not for me.
It is about... It's about 7:45 at this point. So, do you want to follow up on the lead tonight or wait until maybe tomorrow? What do you guys want to do?
I think the sooner the better.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I could get something to eat.
I agree.
I've never tasted magical food.
You're not? Oh, it's amazing.
All right, then. Well, then we will say... Oh, well, let me ask. How are you going to get there? Walking or driving?
Cab.
And take a cab?
Well, I was thinking if I just click my fingers.
We're there.
Because Corey does have a car.
Yes.
Does it fit?
We'll say in the magical realm of Call of Cthulhu, which fits all of you.
Well, if it's a touring car, sure, it'll fit 8 easily.
Yes, we'll say it's a train car. We'll say it's a military grade supply truck.
No,
He's
just
rich.
one of those big fancy gangster cars.
Yeah, like a Duesenberg, or
There you go.
or just some form of ramshackle charabanc.
All right. Well, it's busy on a Wednesday. It's almost 8, so people are literally like just starting to get home. Traffic is still heavy, but it's dissipating. And you guys have left the hotel. What I would like to know, Corey, is if you locked the car.
Yes.
As you guys approach, Corey, it's your car, so you're probably the first to notice. The locks are up.
What the... Guys, I think somebody tried getting in my car.
They didn't try. They got in. The doors were unlocked.
Did they take anything?
Does I look around? Do they take anything?
Did they steal your gramophone?
Oh no, they haven't stolen your big tartan blanket out of the back, have they?
No, nothing is stolen. Nothing's missing. It looks completely untouched other than the fact that the doors are open.
Gentlemen, back away from the car for a moment.
Yeah, I've seen enough gangster movies to know how.
I'm going to get down on my hands and knees, and look underneath the car. Look around in the wheel wells and stuff like that and see if there's a bomb.
Yeah, there's nothing there. You get a few odd looks from people who are walking on the sidewalk because it's crowded. Like, it just sees the people. But there's nothing there. Like, you get back up and...
It's going to grab one of those people off the street and say, hey, would you like to start the car up for us?
I pop the hood, see if there's anything in the hood.
While he's doing that, I'll open the bonnet.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing. Everything's fine.
Does I don't know, I can't remember, does these vehicles have like a trunk?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, a boot.
Yeah. Yeah, I check the back. I check the boot of the back trunk.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what Mick was checking. But
no, he said he did the front.
I was under the bonnet.
Oh, okay. Then no, there's nothing. The car is completely clean.
Can I check the Embartium?
Everything is clean.
Check under the wings.
Yeah.
My guess then is that they might want to know if we have the ledger, and they were looking in the car to see if we had it. Are your gloves still in the glove compartment?
Pretty sure they are.
All right, well, let's all get behind the windscreen and make our way to this restaurant.
All right.
If we all die in the next couple seconds, are the brake lines cut?
Brake lines are fine. You looked under the car. Everything's okay. But no.
William whispers to Tommy, I think we need to get rid of this ledger before we get into more trouble.
The longer we have it, the more likely it is the bad guys will retrieve it.
All right.
Are there any scratches on the car? Can we see how they've managed to get in? Have they just sort of put a...
There's no visible markings on the car to show how they got in.
Well, I start looking at everybody and rolling my eyes and think, maybe he didn't lock it.
But the car doesn't look like, the inside of the car doesn't look like it's been disturbed at all. Like there's...
No, looks completely fine. The doors were just unlocked.
Wait a second. There was a copy of that book. The lady, I can't remember. It was sitting back there. It's missing.
Lady Don't Fall Backwards.
That's
by
the one.
That
Lady Don't Fall
masterpiece of modern fiction.
Lady Don't Fall Backwards was in the back seat.
Well, they
Still there.
can't have been robbed. No one would have, any man of taste would have taken that.
So you guys drive away. You manage to get on 2nd Avenue, no problem. I'd like William to give me a spot hidden.
You're muted.
99.
All right.
He doesn't find the book in the back seat.
All righty. So you guys drive to the restaurant. Now, Fowler, since I'm assuming you're driving, 12th Street is a rather busy street. In fact, basically everything down from like 14 actually. 14 is residential. 14 down to like 9th is busy. 2nd Avenue, 3rd Avenue, and 4th Avenue are incredibly busy. It's like the through lanes. So finding parking is very difficult. You've managed to spot the restaurant, but you have to go find parking and then kind of walk down that way. Is that okay with you, Fowler? You're the one driving.
Yeah, no, I'll say if you guys want to get out, I'll try to find parking, and then when I do, I will join you guys if that works for you guys.
That's fine. I'll get out.
Okay. Thompson gets out.
If you can't find anywhere to park, just bring the car round at about 10:30.
I will find parking.
Yeah. So Thompson is the first to get out. What I'll point out to everybody is the location. So cars are driving past on the street. There's no way to get close to the sidewalk. There's cars lined up along it. So you're like stopped in the road, letting people get out. And you can hear there are people like honking, trying to get you to move, but this is New York. You don't move. But so cars are trying to get past. Cars are coming down the other way. You can hear ships heading up the East River. It's pretty noisy. The Don't See Me restaurant, it's not bordered by any buildings. It's 2 alleyways, so it's kind of a standalone building. And this is actually a rather nice area. You're right next to 2nd Avenue, and 2nd Avenue right now is like a huge, commerce district. So you've got billboards all over. So you've got a billboard saying, Horner's harmonica is the best. That's a real product. Horner's harmonica is the best harmonica you'll ever have. Gee whiz, guys. You see that there's a billboard promoting Peter Ebbetson. I don't know if anyone is familiar with that play. It's a good play. You guys should go check it out. And then there's another billboard right flashing lights. It's promoting a recent bestseller, Eyes of the Beast by Jeffrey Clark. But really, really, that's about it. There's people walking up and down the sidewalks, but it's starting to die down a little bit. Thompson, you are the first one to step out onto the road. Can I get a luck roll from you, please?
Oh, boy. That is a 55 out of a 60. No, that's a 55 out of 50. I don't know why I marked off luck instead of sanity here. All right, yeah, so I didn't pass.
Okay. What happens is that as soon as you step out, Fowler is parked in front of the building, so the alleyways are on either side. So you step out, and just to kind of show you how busy this is, as soon as you step out, a Mercedes-Benz, it comes out of one of the alleyways, stops at the road, but it comes out so fast it kind of splashes you with snow and just all this crap. And he's like inching out, and then he gets into the road, like people are honking. It's a mess. So the sooner you guys get into the restaurant, probably the better, because you guys are holding up traffic and people are honking horns and shouting. It's dying down, but still the roads are terrible.
I kind of imagine when we were standing out there and that happened, I hit the hood of his car and I said, "I'm walking here."
Well, yeah. As soon when the Benz comes out and it's inching its way out, like it doesn't come fully out into the middle of the street. It comes kind of like halfway. It kind of like jolts out of the alleyway and stops halfway, and people are honking, and people are like leaning out of their windows and like waving at it to move out of the way so that they can get by, and it kind of inches its way out. And then
Hawk pretty much took the words out of my mouth, but what I was going to do was I was going to brush the snow and muck off of my clothing, kind of irritated looking. I would have straightened up my glasses, and I would have said in the most proper voice, "I am walking here.
Yeah.
Please, do not splash me with your muck."
Yeah.
Of course, Hawk would have said, banged on the car and said, "Hey, I'm walking here."
Yeah. So Thompson's out. How about everybody else? Is everyone entering but Fowler so that he can find a spot really quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So you guys all get out. You go to the sidewalk. Fowler drives away. And who is going to enter first?
Felix should.
I think that should be me.
Okay. All right. Well, as soon as you enter, Felix, you're hit with the smell of like amazing food. The entire it's a very small restaurant. Most restaurants in New York, especially on 2nd Avenue and 14th and 13th, they're all compact. They have to be. There's a single bar. There's a row of tables that kind of face windows that face out onto the street. There are a couple booths in the very back. Very low lighting. You can see that like on the ceilings, they've got like taxidermied owls, and they've got mirrors on the ceiling. These very lavish, like they've got lavish curtains kind of going all over. It's very fancy. And there's a man. He's got this button-up shirt, rolled up sleeves. You can see he's got tattoos up his arm. And as soon as you enter, he's got tattoos in 1930. Showman. As soon as Felix enters, the man looks up and says, "Welcome to Don't See Me. What can I get you? A seltzer water? A Coke? Pepsi?"
What's his name again?
You haven't gotten a name.
I've been here before. I know his name.
Have you been here recently?
I'll make a luck roll, shall
Let's make a luck roll.
I have passed my luck roll.
All right. Well, then, so you know him. His name is Manny. He's a very young bartender. What you also know is that this is a speakeasy. They've got hooch underneath the bar. And so his name is Manny, and as soon as you walk in, he says that he looks at you and he goes, "Felix, what are you doing here?"
Oh, Manny. Oh, dear, oh dear. I'm back in the city. What can I tell you?
I thought you were out on the.
Business draws me back.
I thought you were on the circuit.
There was nothing happening. No, I thought it was going to be nothing but parties. It was nothing but trouble. Some schmuck offered me a bit of work here, so I came back to the city for a few days. These folks are with me. They're friends of mine. We're working on the same thing together at the moment.
Oh. and he kind of waves you over, and he says, "We'll take a seat at the bar here. We got a fine selection." And he kind of winks at Felix. He knows. And says, "Can I start you off with drinks or food, or what do you guys need?"
Yeah, I'll have a drink. I'll just give me a brown.
And he nods. How about you guys?
Yeah, can bring me something interesting.
And he kind of chuckles and says, "Well, I can do that." And he looks at Thompson and he goes, "You all right there, man?" And he kind of reaches underneath the table and he pulls out a rag and he kind of like pushes it down to the bar and says, "You're looking a little wet. Someone spray you out there?"
Unfortunately, they have. Do you have anything stiff like a good whiskey or maybe something a bit more on the Scotch side of things?
Well, and he kind of looks around, making sure there's no cops. He goes, I can see what I can do, but between you and me, it's coke."
I notice him looking around, and I say, I think the police have more pressing business out there nowadays than coming in here and raiding your fine establishment.
He'll have a Coke.
And he nods and he kind of goes, "Oh, yeah, one Coke," and he gives you a wink, Henry. And as he's preparing everything underneath the table, underneath the bar, he kind of looks up at you, William and Tommy, and he says, "And young people like you don't need any of this stuff." And he kind of chuckles and he goes, "We'll get you a Coke or a Pepsi here in just a sec."
I'll have a Pepsi.
There we go. One Pepsi. And how about you? And he, 2 Pepsis. All right. And as he's preparing everything, the drinks under the table and the other stuff on the bar, his eyes are all over the place, and he goes, "So Felix, what are you doing in here? Just wanted to stop by?"
Well, a bit of that, see my old haunts, but also we're kind of looking for someone.
And he puts the drinks down on the bar, and he says, "All right, here's one Coke. Here's a brown." And at this point, Fowler has walked in. The bell rings, and you see Manny kind of lean up and look over, and he goes, "Welcome to Don't See Me. I'll be right with you in just one sec. Take a seat anywhere."
Don't worry. That schmuck's with us.
Oh. Hey, I recognize you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know where, but you look familiar. Maybe just your face.
He does have that sort of face that you want to punch every time you see, right?
I don't know about that old timer, but yeah, wow. I suppose.
You've probably seen him on the radio.
I don't know if I can ever see anybody on the radio, sir, but...
Gotta look through the little tiny hole.
That's some magic there, looking through a little hole and seeing him. So, you're looking for somebody. All of you. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, we're looking for a fella. Would have been in here 9 o'clock one night recently. Not a regular.
Don't tell me you're still doing this private dick stuff, Felix.
Well, not by choice. I mean, it's hard times. I need some cash.
Circuit's really not doing it for you then.
No. I've I've got an elderly mother and a burgeoning case of alcoholism to support.
And he smiles and says, "Well, I can help you with the alcoholism, but I don't know if I can help you with your mother, unless she's single." And he kind of slaps the bar and kind of gives a chuckle. And he says, "All right. Anyways, you're looking for a guy. He's not a regular. Well, we have people come in here all the time."
I reckon would have been 9 o'clock one night. Probably would have taken a booze.
And he kind of leans over and he looks at the booths. You said 9 o'clock?
Do we have a picture?
Oh, yeah, you have a picture of Timothy.
I've got a picture of Timothy Tucker.
Here it is.
And he takes it. Then he looks. And he goes, "I've never seen this guy." And he slides the photo back to you, Hawk, but he looks back at Felix and says, "But there's a guy that's over there in that corner booth over there. Comes in here maybe every other week or something like that. He comes here and he waits around, and then 2 guys come in and they talk for about, I don't know, 20 minutes. They don't order anything, and then they just leave." But oh, he was. Yeah, he was here. 10, 15 minutes ago. Showed up, sat down. Then a guy comes in, hat, trench coat, whole works, comes in. He goes to the corner, and he doesn't sit down. He's just standing there, and they're arguing. Jabbing fingers. The guy in the booth, he's not having it. I told him to leave. You know, the guy in the booth never pays any. He gives me a tip when he walks out, but he doesn't get food or drink. He just sits there and then walks out and puts money on the table, and I take it. You know, just taking up space though. Paying customers come here to eat. But so I got fed up and tired of it. Went on for about 5 minutes. I said, "Hey, take it outside." They left. You know, I think they probably went into the alleyway or something, maybe the sidewalk. But yeah.
I'm sorry, who is this?
Just some guy that comes in here, usually around 9 o'clock every other week. He's got a mustache, yeah, and slick back hair, but he's not this guy. And he points at the photo and he says, "Real clean cut, you know, real clean cut. 2 guys usually come in, but this time only 1. Didn't look like any of them too." But yeah, I saw him walk. Where would it be? Northeast. They went down just a little ways east on the sidewalk, and then they just turned a corner. So I'm pretty sure they're just in that east alley.
What now?
It's been 10 minutes, and they were going at it.
Felix, you
happen to hear what they were arguing about?
Something about money. It's always about money these days.
Felix, do any of these descriptions sound familiar? Somebody you saw at the...
Fowler and Epstein, give me an intelligence roll.
That is a critical.
Oh,
Okay.
I got 43, so... we've got
Pencil thin mustache, pushed back hair. Sounds exactly like the guy that walked out of Conver's office.
Hey, I've seen that guy.
I don't think I heard you, Mick, if you could repeat.
I said, Geils.
Yes. Geils.
He was the weak link. Well, look, if we were going to put the moves on someone to find out what was going on, he'd be the numero 1 on my list.
Now, hold on, Felix. No, I don't want no trouble.
No, I don't mean. I don't mean putting the moves on someone. I mean putting the moves on someone. I mean just like going and giving him a stern talking to,
Oh.
not like any roughing him up. I mean, come on.
What's this guy got to do with all of you?
We think he's got something to do with some fella who went missing.
Oh.
You know,
Like I said,
the family are paying us to try and find him. It's a long story, Manny. I won't bother you with it, but
he's in here. Like I said, every other night, or every other week, every other 2 weeks maybe. Comes in, sits down. 2 guys show up. They talk in the booth. 2 guys get up, leave. He then walks out, puts $1 or $2.
When was the last time that happened, Manny?
Well, they didn't show up one time. They usually show up like clockwork, every 2 weeks or so. Didn't show up one time on the usual day I see them. Then all of a sudden, they show up the very next day, and they show up and they show up together, and they show up in the middle of the day, and they sit down and they're talking. Let me see. Let me make it.
Let me ask you a question to the GM because I'm not sure I understood the beginning of this. Is there somebody sitting in the bar right over here?
No.
No, he's out in the alleyway. Okay. Or he was out in the alleyway.
Okay, that's it. Okay, I thought that was a different person.
No, he says the same guy that comes in here every other 2 weeks was just here like 15 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, a guy showed up. They were arguing for 5 minutes, and then they left, and then you guys showed up 5 minutes later. So they're probably still in the alleyway. It's only been 5 minutes.
Well, look, I think Hawk. I think you and Fowler. I mean, you're the hard man among us.
Well, and if it's somebody from that office, they don't know what we look like. Fowler, Fowler went to the restroom. I'm gonna go.
All right.
Yeah, he always does that one.
There he is.
Yeah,
Fowler.
I'm back.
Fowler, let's go out into the alleyway and see if we can find that guy.
Okay. Sorry, so
You
what
were in the
exactly
bathroom, we
happened?
know.
Yeah.
We know.
All right. So Fowler and Hawk, you walk out of the restaurant. It's relatively quiet now. That traffic jam has cleared up, and it's now about 9:20. So it's getting pretty late. So you guys walk down the sidewalk and you turn the corner. What you see is a very, very dirty alleyway. All right. Trash bags, dumpster. This is clearly where they throw all the trash out from the restaurant.
Right.
Snow is melting. It's warm tonight. And you can kind of hear the people still eating and drinking inside. And as you guys turn the corner, it's very dark. But as your eyes adjust, Hawk and Fowler, you see that sticking out from behind the dumpster are a pair of feet.
Yeah, kind of figured. So go over there quickly. See if the guy's still alive.
You walk over there, and what you're seeing is a man lying face down. Blood is pooling. The back of his head is caved in. Do any of you have a medical roll?
I'm not a doctor. I got 1 point.
Then no. How about you, Fowler?
My guess is that his head's bashed in.
Yes.
I don't think I need that.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
Give me a spot hidden, Hawk and Fowler.
Pass.
I passed too.
What you're seeing is just past. So first of all, there's a tipped over trash can, trash all over the place.
Okay.
what you also are finding are very large shards of glass. And it's very thick.
Hit it with a bottle.
Yeah, like a wine bottle.
Okay.
So very thick, very hard.
I'm going to immediately check his pocket for ID.
Sure. And as you're doing that, if I could have Fowler give me another spot hidden.
Okay. I fail.
All right. So, Hawk, what you find is a house key. You find a wallet. Inside are $10 in loose bills and change, and a driver's license. The driver's license is that of Harrison Geils. Has his address, 11 West 10th Street. It's got his blood type. He's an organ donor. You also find in his pocket, it's about the size of a 50-cent piece. It is a coin with the state seal on it.
Okay.
So this wasn't robbery.
No.
No, did you think that it was?
No, but that's just something that you kind of...
Harrison Giles knew something, and they had to shut him up. I mentally take down the address, and I know it's Harrison Giles. I take the coin and I take the money.
Okay.
Because he's not going to need it.
Yep. And you do all this without Fowler noticing. He's kind of off looking around. He failed the spot.
I do it very quickly, yeah.
All right. Well.
And then I put the wallet back so that...
All right. What now?
Well, I suppose. How is this guy dressed? Is he dressed in a jacket and?
He's dressed in a suit.
If I can, I'll check the pockets of his jacket and see if there's any other things in there.
Yeah, no, I was gonna do the same.
Not really. Like I said, the only things you really found on his entire person was the house key, the wallet with the driver's license, and then the coin with the state seal.
All right. Let's go back inside.
All right.
Don't say anything. Let somebody else find the body. Get involved.
All right.
We can't do anything for him. He's dead. So
yeah, nothing.
I just don't want to be involved in the police. So.
All right. So after only a few minutes, I'd say like 5 or not even 10, probably like 5 or 8, they come walking back in.
Mm-hmm. And what we do basically is what I do is I sit down with the others and I say, nope, didn't find anybody out there. Not a living soul out there.
Are you sure?
No.
Says Manny.
Yeah. They must have hightailed it away.
Oh, that's a shame. We could really have done with talking to him.
And I'm really not talking to Manny. I don't want Manny to hear what I'm saying.
Oh.
As long as he's there, that's the way. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, though we didn't find anybody.
What I'll say when there's nobody around, standing around, is if Manny goes over there to take care of people or something.
Sure.
I sort of hint to everyone. I'm like, we didn't find anybody alive out there. But let's keep that to ourselves. I'll share what I know once we get back to the hotel. And that's the end of that. Actually, I might take the coin and push it over to Felix and see what he says. It's a seal. Is it like a metal seal for making a seal of?
Well, it's like a coin. It's like you know, military tokens. You know, token coins.
Not really.
correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the military, but I think it's in the Army or the Navy or something like that. They have token coins, so it's the seal of that military outfit on a coin, and they have like a drinking thing associated with it. It's essentially a small coin with a seal on it, and this token coin happens to be the seal of New York. It's probably just given to people who are members of City Hall or something like that.
Yeah. So I'd say something very clever, like if Mr. Harrison Giles left this place, he's not there any longer. The man who was Giles is no longer.
Oh, I knew that was going to happen.
Yes, we always seem to be 5 minutes behind every solid lead.
I'm going to, so while everybody's talking here, I want to maybe perk my ears up a bit and listen around to see if anybody's actually talking about the fellows who are arguing, Giles, of course, and see if anybody's like kind of mentioning that, or if they're just minding their business.
Give me a listen roll.
My suggestion is we get out of here and go back.
Nope, I don't hear a thing.
Yeah, it's too noisy.
Oh, yep.
Hey, Manny, this fella the guy was meeting, one he went outside with.
Yeah?
What did he look like?
Like I said, I didn't really tell. I couldn't really tell. He had a hat on and a big jacket, and he walked right over there into the dark corner, and he was just standing over there yelling at him. Never saw his face.
Big guy?
Average. I saw this.
Sound like somebody who comes in here has come in to meet him before?
Oh, no, he didn't look like the others. Those other guys, they were bigger. They were bigger dudes. Real sticklers, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't know what you're saying.
Call it a special skill, but I can sense a narc when anyone comes into this bar, and they were narcs.
Narcotics officers?
Someone who would spill the beans about the cops.
Yeah, narcs, grasses.
Yeah.
They've used the term narc, though? No. Okay. Sorry.
As in Norbert the narc.
Pigs. They're pigs. Flatfoots.
Kappas.
The filth?
Yeah.
The man.
So, yes, all those things they were. And I'm not about to lose my my liquor license, so to speak.
Stool pigeons.
Yes.
Cha-cha-cha-cha. Sorry. Kid Creole moment.
So I wouldn't have served them even if they wanted something. Like I said, I'm not losing anything. They were probably coming in here watching me, making sure I wasn't doing anything that I shouldn't.
Well, I don't know what you mean. You just serve Coke and soda pop.
I just serve Coke and Pepsi, sir. And kind of smiles at you.
And then I'll slide him like $1 and I'll say I apologize for my outburst earlier. I was a bit irritated being splashed by muddy water and snow.
Are we close to finished with our meal?
Oh yeah. I'm sure that after you went out there and you saw that, you're just like scarfing it down, like let's get the fuck out of here.
Well, I certainly enjoyed the flavor much more. I've got a
delicious meal, by the way.
This meal was magical, by the way.
What I want to say something to Manny as we're leaving, but I want to make sure that are we all ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So what I say to Manny is, I say, Manny, I'm all in favor of what you're doing in here, but you're going to have a run-in with the cops probably sometime in the next hour.
What are you talking about?
We're going to leave. We don't want any trouble, but there's a body out in your back alley.
What? And he said, and he just kind of looks. And you guys are kind of standing in the doorway. So
I'm
you
like,
gotta
just be aware. Get yourself ready for the cops to show up. Pretend like you don't know anything about it.
Well, I gotta call them. Oh shit! All right.
Let somebody else call them.
If I don't. And he just kind of starts looking around. And he goes, all right. You guys, thanks for the tip.
Who's in the buildings behind you? Because you could always call it in and just say that you're looking out your window upstairs and you're looking down there and you see a body in the alley.
It's just apartments over on 14th, so they probably see it.
I just don't want you to get in trouble. You seem like a cool guy.
Thanks for the tip. All right, well, I'll get rid of all this shit underneath the bar, and then and I'll call him. All right. And he holds out his hand, and he shakes your hand, Hawk, and he shakes everybody's hands as he's profusely saying thank you, because had someone found it and the cop showed up, he would have gone to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, he kind of closes the door. You guys are on the sidewalk. It's relatively quiet. You can hear the distance of like 2nd Avenue and 3rd and 4th, but it's relatively quiet on this street.
So if we get back into Fowler's car, and I basically explained to everybody what we found.
All right. Did Fowler lock his doors?
I always lock my doors.
He always locks his doors. Are they still locked?
They're still locked.
Okay. I show him the coin. I graphically describe the way his head was bashed in with a bottle of something. So
Okay.
I'm sorry that I didn't say anything. I didn't want the man. He seems like a really nice guy. I don't want him to get turned off because he's gets caught.
You did the right thing, Hawk. You did the right thing.
So Geils is dead. And you guys saw him arguing with that other guy.
William
Converse. There's some nasty business going on here at City Hall. What do you think we should do tomorrow? Do you think we should turn that ledger over to somebody important?
Well, the sooner it's out of our hands, the easier we can breathe, I think.
Well, I think I read the other day in the newspaper that the main lawyer who's spearheading the investigation is Hofstetter, and it's Judge Seabury who's involved, and Roosevelt.
Yes.
So any one of those three.
Something I'd like to point out is you're on 12th Street, and Geils' house is on 10th.
Not that far away.
So we could investigate.
I hope not far away.
It's
ISIS.
What did I write down? 11 West
10th Street.
11 West 10th Street. New York. What an interesting thing number way to say it.
Yes, they have a very interesting number system.
What do you think, guys?
I say we go for it. What time is it?
Like
9:20.
9:30.
Yeah.
9:20.
Is that never mind, it's not important.
Well, this area, it's probably an apartment. Brownstone, maybe.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, let's go. Let's
Yep.
I
Let's
wrapped
go.
myself in my coat, and it's quite cold out here. Let's get on with this.
Who amongst us looks the most like Geils in build and size? Would you say, Thomas?
Anyone with an appearance of 50 or 60, a size of 50 or 60 would do fine. Those two, as long as those two work, and has brown hair.
Well,
we all wear hats.
Yeah, I have a hat on, and I have a size 50 and appearance of 50. So,
what we can do, because there'll be neighbors and there'll be people around, is you can wear your heavy coat, or you can put your heavy coat up like this, and we can pretend like you're friends and you've been drinking. And
let's not make a ruckus out of it. And you said it's about what, 9:30? Decent folk would probably be. What day is this again?
It is Wednesday.
It's a weekday. Decent people would be heading off to bed right about now.
Right, but if it's an apartment complex, they might look out their doors and they're going to wonder why all these strange people are going into his apartment. But if we're friends trying to get him in bed because he's drunk,
well, I could play the part.
You do your disguise with, just cover up so that, we'll be helping you.
Yeah, you shouldn't have mentioned disguise, man. Ixnay on the disguise, eh?
Wear your disguise.
Hey, I could probably disguise you.
Probably.
Yeah.
Fake mustache.
We just need it for a second so that nobody knows that anything's up.
Hey, Fowler, let me one of your eyebrows for a minute.
Hey, no.
I almost spit out my water.
All right, yeah. If you can fix me up, yeah. Let's. How do you say this, Hawk? In your line of business, let's case the joint.
No, let's just go in.
Let's make sure that we're not being followed as well.
Good point. Well, so we'll keep an eye out to see if we're being followed. But we can just walk there, right?
Yeah. It's just a few blocks away, right?
Well, it's so you guys are on East 12th Street, and the address is on West 10th Street. So it would be a drive across and then just 2 blocks down.
Well, nobody's driving because we've all been drinking.
Yeah. Well.
What are you talking about? Everybody drinks and drives in New York. Yeah,
it's a straight line.
And that's the reason why I almost got hit by a Mercedes.
I'm fine.
Well, what's the foot traffic like right now? Foot traffic and street traffic. Is it still busy?
If we're going east to west, aren't we? How many blocks? What are you talking? 30 blocks?
Well, let's find out. Let's do it. Let's map it out. West 10th Street, New York, to East 12th Street. All right, we can do this. Let's see how far. Directions to East 12th Street. Okay. How long would it take to walk? It would take about 15 minutes.
Oh, well, then we could do that.
Yeah.
That way nobody sees our car or anything.
Right.
Should we sing something? Like, Sweet Aloha.
I think that we should try to keep it low key, but if somebody happens to see us, I can pretend to stumble a bit as if I'm drunk or intoxicated. But I think that going in there as low key as possible would be the best.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So,
but wouldn't it be better just in case you need a quick getaway?
Well, somebody could stay with the car.
Yeah, we don't all need to go. Fowler, do you want to stay? It's your car.
Well, you guys walk. I will.
Yeah, you drive and be nearby.
Right.
Like across the street.
I
Okay.
guess.
So Fowler is going to go in his car, and he's going to go first, and you guys are going to walk. Okay.
Yeah, but we're going to be halfway there before he even gets in.
Before he finds parking.
Well,
This is New York.
yes. Dexter will get there slightly before you.
Okay.
But only slightly. Fowler. As you close the distance, as you go down one block, 11th, and then the second block, 10th, you can see that it's just like a row of brownstones. Okay, you see Geils' home. Okay, you see what was the address? 11th West. But what you see at the very end of this block, there's not a whole lot of cars here. Most people would just take the taxi or the subway. At the very end of the row of brownstones, you see a police car. Lights are off. It's not facing. It's facing east. It's not facing the house, but it's just sitting there in the corner.
Is anybody in?
From this distance, no, you can't see. You can do a spot hidden.
I got a 07, so I got an extreme.
One man, and he's sitting with his head like this, looking up in the rear view mirror.
Okay. When I drive up closer, or when I get closer, do I see anything in the rear view? Or do I see anything in the back of his...
Other than the police issued shotgun, which is just like sitting up like this in the back seat. And he's just looking at you. Or he's not looking at you. He doesn't seem to mind you. He's just kind of like scanning the rearview mirror.
That seems odd. But I guess it is New York, so...
And it's around this point that you can kind of hear the singing songs of Hawk as he moseys on down the street. And you guys turn the corner and you see the exact same kind of setup, except Fowler is parked on the opposite corner. So the police car is down the way and Fowler's right there next to you.
How dry I am. How dry I am.
Well,
Nobody knows.
I kind of motioned to Hawk and basically everybody kind of there. There is I kind of in a quieter voice, so no one really can. There is a cop down the street over there.
Rats.
Just giving you a fair warning.
Yeah, for all we know, the cops are the ones who bumped this guy off.
And, which is weird, he is looking in his rearview mirror.
Maybe he likes looking at himself.
I'm just letting you know.
What's that, Tommy?
Can I clarify something, Thomas?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember back to, I guess it was the last episode, when Fowler and Epstein were up in the office. Mm-hmm. They were talking with Converse?
Yes, they were talking to Converse. Geils and Converse.
And Geils was the one who was saying he don't want any more part of it.
Yeah, he was like, I'm done. I don't want any part of this. I'm done.
Okay. All right, just wanted to clarify that. Thanks.
Sure, no problem. Go ahead and let's have Hawk, Fowler, and Tommy give me law rolls.
Law?
Law.
I did not pass. I missed it by like 5.
I don't know anything about law right now.
Okay.
I've got 45, but I didn't get that low.
I rolled a 93 out of 63. So
we've been drinking.
Hard success.
Yeah.
What was that, Tom?
Hard success.
Hard success.
He is a lawyer.
As a lawyer, you know that you have Hawk took the key, correct? You have the house key. You know, you could easily spin this as, you know, we're going in, you know, to see a friend. We don't know if he's here or not. We happen to have a house key. You know, you could spin it that way. The cops may not like it.
Well, yeah, the thing is that what if they just murdered this guy and they're looking for somebody and we walk right into it and they just murder us to keep us from, you know, that's my fear.
And even if they're not involved with the murder, if later on, you know, our friend Manny calls the police and they identify this individual, and you have a group of guys going into his home, we become suspects in his murder.
So I was hoping we could get in and out of here without anybody seeing, but now that there's a cop, it complicates things really badly.
Now,
it does, actually.
How do you all feel?
Fowler, you said that the police was looking in his rear view. Was he looking in his rear view mirror, or was he looking up at the apartment?
So how the street is laid out is there's a row of brownstones on either side. Number 11 is directly in the middle.
Okay.
The cop is all the way on the eastern side of the street. You guys are on the west. Okay.
Okay.
He is parked facing east. He is looking in his rear view mirror. Thus, he is looking west.
So he's looking back at the apartment, at the brownstone.
It looks like he's scanning the street.
Looking for, yeah.
Looking to see if anybody enters or exits.
Here's a question, actually, for the GM then.
Okay.
Not being completely familiar with the way things run in big cities like that, would it be normal for a beat cop, to be at the end of the block, kind of keeping his eye open, or is this extremely unusual that they're right where we're going? Right.
And I'm glad that you asked that, because this is a relatively nicer part of town. It's a row of brownstones, you know, and you walk down the street. There's no real issue. You're not near, you know, Little Italy or Chinatown. You're not in the southern part. You're not in Harlem with all the jazz. You know, you're in the middle of Manhattan, near the Upper West Side.
So it'd be unusual to see a cop sit.
It is highly unusual that a cop is just sitting there with his lights off, just doing this, looking in the mirror.
I have a very bad feeling about this. At this point, I'm ready to say abort, but it's up to you guys.
Well,
Mr. Hawk.
Let me ask you this. I'm not too familiar, Hawk. I'm not too familiar with New York. I'm out of town.
Nor am I.
Well, the question I would have for you is, wouldn't there be a fire exit or an escape for maybe in the back of the building?
See if we can sneak around to the back of the building and go up the fire escape.
I believe brownstones do have alleys, yes.
That's not a bad idea. We all have flashlights, right? So when we get up there, we don't necessarily have to turn on the light.
I don't think they created flashlights back then.
Well, the 1930s?
Yeah, you guys have
We have them in the 20s.
You said flashlights. Never mind.
Torches. We call flashlights.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to stay outside, and, you know, just in case something happens, you guys can, you know, do whatever, go inside. I'll stay outside too.
How about this? I mean, if you're going to stay outside, particularly with a car, if we go in and that cop comes out of his car, perhaps you can stall him. I mean, you are this famous radio show host. Perhaps you could talk to him a bit.
Yeah, could be a possibility. If I see he...
And I mean, and to basically signal us, you could toot your horn like twice or something like that, or something like that, which will signal us that he's leaving his car, and you can run interference. It'll give us enough time to get in and get out.
I can throw my boomerang up at the window.
If he asks you why you're honking your horn, tell him that you're trying to get your girlfriend to come out, but she doesn't seem to want to come out.
Mr. Hawk, I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
If the police were watching Geils to protect him, then they would be watching him where he is, not in his home when his home is empty. Yeah?
Yeah, I don't think that they're waiting to protect him. I think that we've been told that the cops are all corrupt.
I'm just wondering, if he's watching the street, though, does he have a partner up in the apartment?
That's also a possibility. They might
So
they might be ransacking the apartment. I think that it's highly likely we'll get up there and it'll be ransacked, but we'll see.
Well, I might wait with Mr. Fowler if that's okay with my boomerang.
Sure. You're not really in law enforcement or anything, so we'll risk it. How about you, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm not going in. I'm staying out here.
All right. Epstein?
Look, I don't mind the idea of doing a bit of disguise work, but
you don't want to risk anything.
Yeah, I dead bodies and I don't. I'll keep an eye out. I'll wait in the car.
Henry?
I'm with you.
Okay.
I mean,
Fowler, you're with me?
This plan basically hinges on me and my disguise as our deceased friend here.
All right. Well, you guys come up with, if you need a distraction, go over and have a conversation with Dexter, and just act like you're a couple of party people that have left and you're wandering about. And I mean, anything, they can't arrest you for just being people on the street.
But what if the two of you gentlemen go up and there's somebody else up there? You don't know if there's anyone in the apartment.
We'll be careful.
We'll try.
I'm packing.
And I'm not packing, but I'll hide behind Hawk.
You got that sword cane.
Oh, that's the other character.
Oh.
So
I thought Henry walked around with one of those too.
So Hawk, Fowler, and Henry are going to walk around back.
No,
Fowler's staying with the car.
Fowler's staying at the car.
So
right.
just Hawk and Thompson.
Just me and Henry.
Am I doing a makeup job on Henry before he goes in?
Yeah, you can try.
Okay.
Just sort of, yeah. Just make him look like, hunched over that he's...
I can do this. I mean,
Of course, now we're going up the back. I don't think we're anybody...
Yeah, but, just in case...
And
I mean, I'll have to improvise. I'll be using a bit of boot blacking instead of a false moustache. But that guy only had a pencil moustache. I mean, it'll look the same from about 5 feet away. So no one will ever tell the difference.
But while you're Mr. Epstein, if you can touch up these blotches and blemishes as well for him while he's doing that.
I'm just going to point out that if I rolled a 99%, I would have just given you a massive, great Groucho Marx moustache.
99 is when you go, what does carcinogen mean?
Oh, I got
None of us would know what that means.
17 out of 25. So, sorry, 17 out of 50. And my hard is 25.
Yeah, I mean, despite Henry's age, from a distance, someone could pass, he could pass off as...
We just need casual glancers.
Yeah.
Who will just automatically think, oh, that's Mr. Geils.
Yeah, that's Mr. Geils.
See him.
Yeah, and I saw Geils in person when he was still alive.
Yeah. You say that like it's my fault. I just get the wonderful task of finding the dead bodies.
I'm just glad I didn't see him. I don't want to see any more dead bodies.
Besides, I'm like $11 richer.
I've had my fill of dead bodies to last me a lifetime.
All right, so we sneak around while they go off into the street. We go around behind the buildings, and
okay. Well, you guys, like I said, you guys are on the west end of the street. He's on the east.
okay.
So you guys get out and you begin approaching the sidewalk so that you can go around the alleyway. And you guys are halfway through the actual street when you hear the engine of the car, the police car ahead, turn on, and it kind of just rolls away. It takes the corner and it goes down third, or I guess it's not third. I don't know what it would be, but he turns right and he just kind of slowly goes down.
As it begins to move, can William spot the registration so that he can note it down in his notebook?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
496 REDHERRING.
KISSING.
All right. It's not hard for you to do because, the taillights, they illuminate. It's a 4-digit code on the back. So it's definitely not difficult for you to write down in your notebook.
Are there that many cars about now? Wow.
Yes, there are there are at least 1,000 of them. But
how the world changes.
Well, specifically, cop cars have numbers detailed in the back. But it kind of just goes down. So you guys are alone on the street now.
I'll continue to walk as if this is like I wasn't even looking at it. I'm just going to continue to the apartment.
Sure. And is the car going to remain where it is? It's just going to sit there.
Is the other car completely gone away down the street, or is it just gone round a corner or something like that?
It keeps going. It's gone. It's out of sight.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let's just go around the block. Let's just see if it kind of stopped at another part. Maybe he kind of seen us kind of suspicious or not.
He could just be going around the block to come back the other direction. So.
Well, that's what I'm gonna kind of drive around the block.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of wrap around and come back to this point.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, okay. I would be quite happy to go and join the men going into the apartment because I kind of feel like the danger's gone now.
Yeah, I was thinking much the same thing.
Yeah. Maybe Mr. Fowler, you can just drop us near the apartment and we'll go up.
I canned William my piece of just in case something happens, to use this.
Why don't we just say all that happened and now we're walking up to the apartment?
Sure. So you're gonna walk up to the front door now.
I guess.
What about you, Tommy? You didn't tell. Are you staying in the car?
Fella, you're staying in the car, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'm staying with Fella.
Okay.
I'll take the gun, Dexter, as well. So thanks for that. Although it's a bit,
Okay. So you guys have approached the front door. Hawk has the key.
Is there anybody looking, or does anybody spot us?
No, it's 10 o'clock. Nearly, yeah, it's 10 o'clock, on a Wednesday. People are probably they're either finishing dinner or starting to go to bed. So they're not really looking at you.
Are there other people in the same building, or?
It's just a brownstone, so it's just like just an isolated longhouse.
All right.
Okay, so key in, turn the lock. Door is unlocked.
Okay.
Okay, so you open up. It's dark.
Yeah. Everybody come inside.
But and as you guys enter in and Hawk closes the door, it's dark for a brownstone, even when the light's off.
Okay. Well, I turn on my flashlight. I point it at the ground.
Okay.
Are there curtains that are drawn?
Yes, there are.
So there's no light coming from outside?
Yeah. Would you like to open them?
No. Want them to be closed. That way nobody sees our flashlight going around.
Give me a spot hidden, Hawk.
That's close. Yeah, I got 69 out of 70, so that's really close.
As you pass your flashlight over, in the split between the curtains where they're drawn, you can see you don't see glass. It's newspaper.
What the hell? So I pull him back a little bit. Says he's newspapered up the windows.
Yep, he has layered at least 4 layers of newspaper. Like, I'm not talking about like sheets. I'm talking about like full-on newspapers, and he's taped them to the window, so you can't see the street.
Has he actually taped them on so you can read something in the newspaper, or is he trying to?
He's trying to block the light out.
Is he paranoid?
I don't know. There's paranoid and there's paranoid. You can't see through the curtains, so why?
Seemed bothered about the light when he was in the office.
Seeing what actually happened to this man, he has all the right to be paranoid, or had all the right to be paranoid.
Yeah, but what are you talking about? You think somebody? He's afraid of what?
Well, apparently he must have been afraid of somebody following him and wanting to end his life.
Yeah, and then he goes and stands out in the alleyway with some guy.
Yeah, he goes to a restaurant.
Well, I mean,
everybody is going mad and dying.
We don't know what that conversation was about. Perhaps he was there to meet somebody, and
yeah, but this is not normal. I mean, it's his house. People would know where he lives.
Well, I mean, I can't pretend to understand this man.
Felix, while they're having this conversation,
maybe I should think about it and.
Well, can we look around
and roll a psychology on that? Why would this man do this?
Sure. Give me a psychology roll while everyone else is looking around. Go ahead and on this the living room and the foyer, give me a spot hidden.
Everybody.
Yeah, everyone but Henry.
Yes, pass.
Yeah, my
what about? Do I don't need to make one, do I? No, probably not.
I got a 9.
No, you're not there.
Outside, right?
You're outside. All right. So who passed?
Pass.
William notices motes of dust floating about.
Yes. Hockey of the flashlight. So,
I was going to suggest though, if the windows are blacked out, why don't we just shut the door and turn the light on and then search? That'd be easier.
I'm afraid that they might not be as light proof as possible, but we can probably chance that. I want that cop driving by and suddenly seeing the light on and coming in and machine gunning all of us.
Right.
Too many cheap novels.
I do.
So
yeah, but being cautious is always better than going.
Well, I doubt that light can get out. So with the curtains drawn and the newspapers,
right?
Can we find the light switch?
Yeah, Felix actually is near it, so he flips it up.
Okay.
Hawk and Felix, you pass your spot hidden. With the light on, one of the very first things you see is that there's an end table next to the front door. You know, where you put your keys and you hang up your coat, right. And on it there are several letters. But one on the very top, it kind of strikes out with you because on the front is a big red stamp that says "Past Due." It's a bill from the United States Postal Service.
Okay.
Yeah.
A bill for how much?
You don't know. It's not opened.
So okay. So it's okay. Well, I open it up and look at it.
It is a bill for a P.O. box in Geils' name. It's past due on its rental. And it lists the box number and where it is.
What's the box number?
100.
That's it, 100?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's just
where's it located?
I don't have the address, but
okay.
You have the address. It's
Post
on
office.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you should take the bill as well.
Yeah.
How much is the bill for?
It's only for about. How much would it be?
Like $2.
Yeah. I'm just trying to calculate the amount it is now compared to then. But yeah, it's like $2.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, take that.
Because I'm just thinking if we went down and paid it, they wouldn't question who we were if we were down there paying the bill and then asked for the contents of it. That would.
And I have now. When you said I have his key, do I have his keys?
No, all you have is the house key.
So he just had a loose house key in his pocket.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I look around here if there's another set of keys.
All right. Give me one.
He's gonna have a PO box key.
Yes, he will.
Somewhere.
So you look around the first floor. There's the second floor. It's upstairs. You're not seeing anything down here. You kind of look around. It's not ransacked. Nothing has been topped over.
Does it look like he's been here recently?
Yeah, it looks like
it's lived in. There's food in the fridge.
Yeah, looks like it was lived in. There's food in the fridge. The ice box is full. It's got Cokes in it. Everyone loves Coke. So, but yeah.
It's addictive. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be doing my own searching as well. Particularly if he has a personal library or something like that where he might hide some written content.
Sure. You can kind of take brownstones are relatively small.
Small, narrow, and multi-story.
Yeah. So this first floor is mainly just the foyer, the living room, the kitchen, and the dining room, and then a bathroom. So you can just like take a look and you can see nothing's here.
Okay.
Immediately, I'm going to assume you go upstairs.
Yep, I'm going out. So.
Okay. And here you do see this brownstone is relatively modest. You see that there's a bedroom and that there is a study, and then there's a master bed and bathroom. Like I said, it looks lived in.
All right, I'm going to go right into the study. That's going to be my first place to go, sir.
Okay.
But I will also check the bedroom and other rooms up there. But first things first for me is the study.
First things first is the study. Okay.
I think William would join Henry too, just with the library side of things, if he's got anything like that.
Well, awesome. All right. So William and Henry are going upstairs, and you've opened up the room into the study. Like I said, it's relatively small, so I'm kind of doing this piecemeal. You open the study, hyper organized. Not like scary organized, but it's definitely very clean in here. Like this was clearly a place where he came and did work.
Okay.
There's bookshelves. They're filled with documents. If you were to open them up, it would be like documents relating to City Hall and the city planning office. Nothing too in-depth. It's like committee lists and stuff like that, manifests, just the things that you need to do your work, but not like the core of it. On the desk, there's nothing really there. There's a fountain pen. There's a little table, or there's like a little like foam pad. There's a cup. There's some books kind of here and there. One of them is actually face down, like he was.
Like it's opening. It's open, but it's face down. Okay.
Yeah, like he was reading it, and then he put it down and was like, "I'm gonna go do something else."
Okay.
In the there's a little tray, and the tray says red. You're gonna see that there is a piece of paper face down. It's folded into thirds, but it was folded into thirds. You can see the creases, but it's face down currently.
Okay, I'm going to look at both that slip of paper as well as the book itself. Okay. I'm going to look at the slip of paper first, though.
Okay. Well, you pick up the slip of paper. Very first thing you see is stapled to it a note card.
It's a what?
A note card. And William, you can see this too. It's a note card that reads, "In back between red and white pipe."
Okay.
Okay. And so that's stapled to it. And then let's go ahead and let me pull this up really quick. All right.
It is dated February 19th, 1931. Geils. You don't need to worry. Everything is done on my end. Hopefully, the Hall of Records won't notice, though I doubt anyone cares about anything from the city planner's office files. And when we need them, I have a way to find them, as I've hidden in plain sight. It's genius. Not even Samantha will find out. Now, I want to tell you, Harrison, that I'm starting to think someone is onto us. Ever since we planned all of this, I've noticed men following me. I first saw them on the train as I went to work. They've been there every single morning and evening, always watching me. The sooner you get what you want, the better. I don't know how much longer I could be involved in this. I've got my own issues I need to be dealing with, and the last thing both you and I need is getting caught with all of this. Hopefully this finally works itself out, but I'm on edge. Just remember, don't act suspicious. Live by that rule, and we'll be fine. I'll see you at work, Timothy. And I'll read that over just to memorize that, and I'll hand it over to you, William.
Well, this is amazing, Henry. This is like the smoking gun, you know? It's real evidence.
Yes, but there's more questions than answers, though.
William, as he's reading that, give me a spot hidden.
Fail.
Then Henry, I want you to give me a spot hidden when you're finished reading.
All right, I hand the paper over to him, and I'm looking around. My God, nope. 60 out of 45.
I'm looking for, this card says in back between the red and white pipe. So I'm looking about to see if there's any pipes or anything in this room.
No.
I will say we could check this room and we could check this apartment, but
I think it might be his workplace.
It could be his workplace. It could
It
also...
said it was hidden in plain sight, so I'm wondering if it's at work.
And he did mention somebody by the name of Samantha, so yeah, that sounds just about right. But I say that we still check this place, cover all of our ends here.
Samantha's his wife.
So and with that, I'm going to say, because Hawk and Epstein and there's nothing on the first floor other than that. You've kind of done your search. You've moved upstairs, and you can see them in the study, with the paper in their hand with a note card.
If there's a mirror on the wall, I give it the evil eye.
Now, there was a note card. I wanted to sort of go back because I'm not going to go down yet. There was a note card, but there was also the book. What was he reading? Where did he actually stop?
It's just an anthology of stories. It's nothing really. Okay. Yeah.
So William just repeats to the rest of the guys what's in the left arm. Says it's a real clue.
Okay. So, Hawk and Epstein, give me spot hidden since you're kind of standing in the hallway.
25 pass. In fact, that's better than half.
That's 16. She's also a pass.
On the bookshelf, tucked away in between two little books, until those two little you see the glint of brass.
Ooh. Brass. Well, you're closer.
I'm going to look closer at it.
Okay. It's just a sliver, so you'd have to pull it out. And in pulling it out, you read, Box 100. And it's a little brass tag, and attached is a little ring with a key.
Well,
There
what do
you
you
go.
think of that?
That's the post office box. So
There you go then. I'll hand that to Hawk.
stick it in
There's
the
your
pocket.
key.
Now we're going to jump back to Fowler and Tommy. So all while this is happening inside, nothing's really happening. You're just kind of sitting there. You've done your round around the block. There's nothing there. You've been sitting there for probably 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And that's when on the west end of the road, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 police cars coming up, and they round the corner.
As soon as I see that, I just kind of blur on my horn.
All right, so you guys inside, you hear the horn from outside.
They're playing our song, guys.
Like, took them a while, but they're finally here. There, Tommy. Let's try and hurry it up here.
Yeah.
Shall we go down the fire escape?
Let's go.
I think actually we could just go down the stairs and then go out like a back door or a back window.
Yeah, there's a back window that you could probably fit through.
There's probably a door to the alley where the garbage would go, huh?
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Brownstone, they put the garbage in the alleyway, not the front. All right, so yeah.
We'll just go out the back door and then go along the alley.
Sure.
Quickly in the dark.
For Fowler and Tommy, however, the cars kind of pull up alongside and they stop. The lights aren't on. They're not flashing sirens. They just kind of pull up and men get out and they're uniformed officers. And they're kind of just, they kind of get out and they slam the doors and they're just standing there. And one man in the very front car, he gets out of the back. He's wearing uniform, but he's got badges. He's got a hat. He's an older man too. His jaw kind of protrudes out. He's all wrinkled. And he kind of, when he gets out, he smiles and he takes his hat off. And you guys have your window down. It's probably a little breezy. And he shouts, "Evening!"
I kind of, I said, I kind of wave out and like, yes.
And you can see that the officers are kind of, wrapping around. And the man, he kind of leans in and he goes, "You're that Private Dick Fowler, right?"
My name is Fowler, yes.
Man, you're a private investigator. My name is Deputy Commissioner Hudgens. You know who I am?
I heard you around on the around, yeah.
And he kind of leans back and he says, "And who are you, young man?"
My name's Tommy Anderson.
Tommy, you're a little young to be apprenticed with him. And he kind of motions over to Fowler.
Well, we were just waiting for our other friends around. Yeah.
What other friends are those?
Well, just some old colleagues that we did on a case. We are going to go out. That's why I'm waiting out outside here.
Yeah. So they happen to be you happen to be waiting for a friend in that house there, and he points at Conver's house.
No.
No. Well then, which friend is it? Which house? One of these?
I just point to like random. I'm not out of game. I'm pointing to a random house. I just don't know. I don't know which one, but it's that one over there.
And you point, and the deputy commissioner, he kind of smiles and he goes, Officer Leroy, why don't you go over there and knock and get his friend up out of here, because they need to be going here pretty soon. And one of the officers nods, and he kind of walks over and goes, so, if this is involving Mr. Converse or anything that he may be associated with, know that it's a police matter.
Oh, what? I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know who I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, good. We'll keep it like that. And he kind of smiles. He says, and word around is you've got some friends looking into the municipality building. Is that right? I heard that you were there.
I was.
You were. Can't go anywhere with a face like that and a voice like that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, everyone just keeps recognizing you off the street like that.
Yes, it happens all the time.
Said you were asking a whole lot about a guy, Tucker.
Yeah, me and him go back years.
Yeah?
Like I said, I have a lot of friends.
Well, guess what, Mr. Fowler? And he leans in, he gives you a very serious face, and he goes, I have quite a few friends, too. And the Tucker case is closed. And soon, Converse case will be closed, too. And he gives you a smile, and he says, now, hopefully, your friends aren't anywhere nearby. But if they were, you tell them Deputy Commissioner Hoggins and his buds say hello. Now, why don't you go down that way and you turn around, and I don't ever see you again.
Okay, then.
All right. And he kind of pats the car on the top, and he says, we're letting them go. No, they were just sightseeing.
Drive, Dexter, drive.
I kind of start, driving, and I kind of go right where.
And as you drive away, your window is probably still down. You can kind of hear the officers laughing as Deputy Commissioner kind of wraps his arms around. He just kind of watches you drive away. And we'll end there.
Jeez. Our players included Mick Swan, Jeff Wilkins, Corey Heisted, Ken Trench, Wayne Worthy, and myself, with Tom McKeon as Keeper of the Secrets. We're currently producing 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. We have some new patrons, some Patreon news. Raymond Offord has pledged $11 a month to our club. Greg Long has pledged $5 a month. And one of our current patrons, the Carter brothers, Craig and Neil, have increased their pledge to $20 a month. Thank you so much. Oh. Raymond, Craig, Greg, and Neil. Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Great guys.
If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We love hearing them. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.